Thanks for joining us at XM.com for this special report video. We'll be having a closer look at the pound. I'm Christina Marujos, and joining me today is investment analyst Cristina Bartenido. Now, Cristina, the past few weeks have given the pound an impressive boost, especially against the US dollar. What do you think was the reason, though, behind this sharp rebound, and how do you think the virus risks could affect the pound from here?
Hi, Christina. Well, there's a big theory that the dollar weakness is the reason behind this bullish storm, and I won't disagree. I mean, it usually acts as a safe haven and gain during risk periods such as the COVID-19 health crisis we are currently going through. However, when troubles emerge in the domestic economy, it has no other option than decelerate, and that gives an opportunity to other currencies in the FX world to gain some ground. July was a very challenging month for the US. New COVID-19 cases spiked significantly and above April's highs, forcing the government to resume some restrictions. In addition to that, Democrats and Republicans had different views on the amount and the structure of a new recovery fund. And although the scheme expired at the end of July, the debate continues this month, cutting the extra payment unemployment people received in previous months. President Trump also seems to be losing popularity, so all this pressures the dollar. And when other economies are doing better in terms of controlling the virus and about their political situation, this further hurts the dollar. I mean, the EU and the UK are also facing increases in infection cases and have also taken precautionary measures, delaying further reopening. Perhaps we may see more infections in the coming months in the absence of an effective vaccine in these areas, because governments are trying to avoid a full lockdown similar to that we have experienced in March. Such a decision would squeeze the recovery we see in data releases and result to a prolonged crisis with mounting debt levels. So governments may prefer to control the situation by using some restrictions, and as the time goes by, this could turn to a new normal and markets could get used to that, showing little reaction. So my expectation is that the pound may show little reaction to rising infection cases in the coming months, unless hospitals are surpass their capacities and Boris Johnson orders a full lockdown, or in the best scenario, we surprisingly get a vaccine this year. In the meantime, however, as the situation remains as it is, I think the focus will be on the data and how much stimulus the government and the central bank can further provide. On this front, the UK is on the right path. Retail sales came in better than expected, and business PMI readings returned to growth, while the Chancellor announced more stimulus last month, which could further support consumers and businesses. So whether we are going to have more recovery in the coming months remains to be seen. And in this case, the pound could receive more support.
Earlier today, though, we had the Bank of England policy meeting. How is their forward policy that they announced earlier today likely to affect the pound?
Well, the central bank left interest rates and asset purchases unchanged today as expected, and more importantly, it didn't urge the need for negative rates and upgraded its outlook for this year despite the infection increases, saying that consumption has significantly recovered, and therefore we see the pound heading higher again today. However, it expressed some worries about the labor market and inflation, and that cut some momentum from the pound. But probably it's too early to say bad or good things about how the economy will perform in the rest of the year. We need to see how the virus situation will turn in the coming months. And for the time being, what the central bank can do is to wait and see how the data will respond. If the situation worsens, slowing down the recovery in the data, then the pound could come under pressure. And the other way around, in case conditions remain as they are, I think that the numbers may print more improvement, providing footing under the pound, especially if the situation in the US remains uncertain.
The COVID-19 pandemic is stealing the headlines worldwide. However, other issues are still running in the background. I'm, of course, referring to Brexit. Where are we on that front, and how could any developments in the talks affect the currency?
Indeed, Brexit trade talks are the main risk for the pound, and a problem that no other economy has, and that is what keeps some caution in the pound market. We didn't have any progress since the UK left the EU in January. Neither the UK Prime Minister extended the transition period. So for now, both sides keep a hard line, and Boris Johnson has a very united cycle, so he's not expected to give up the battle easily. Eventually, we may get the trade deal near the December deadline, because if the health crisis continues, I don't think that any side would like to face additional negative consequences from a no-deal Brexit. However, whether this will be an ideal one or a premature deal may give a new direction to the pound. I think that in October we may have more information about where the talks are heading to, and therefore we may see more pound volatility.
Christina, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for watching the special report on the British pound here at xm.com.